Hello and welcome to my Monday message. One big idea shared in around about 3 minutes. And this week we're continuing the short series about leadership and management and following on directly from last week's discussion about culture and the important role that leadership and management play in determining and defining the way that culture is experienced not only by clients and customers, but also by the other stakeholders, including employees within the organisation. Culture, as I said last week, is really determined at the most simple level by how do we behave around here? How do we speak to each other? What are the artifacts? And how do we consistently act? Breaking that down a little bit further so that you can really start to look at how you could intentionally design your culture, it's useful to be aware of a model called Johnson and Scholes cultural web. So this week we're going to move away from our usual 2x2 grid and we're going to look at something which has got, well, at least another two elements because it's a hexagon. And that hexagon has got 6 different areas we want to look at. So the first thing that goes into the cultural web is stories and myths. What are the sorts of stories that are told within your organisation? Are they positive? Are they hero type stories? Are they all about overcoming obstacles? What do the stories say about the ethos and the mythos of your organisation? The second thing is your symbols, logos, imagery, what sorts of things go to associate themselves with your culture and with your organization. The third thing is really around your rituals and your routines, the things that you do most consistently, the ways that people typically act, because there are certain behaviours which will become normalised within any culture. And the way we do things around here is really probably the biggest and most obvious example of what cultural norms actually are. Then you've got, I suppose, some more structural things. So the first thing is the organizational structure itself. Is it very formally arranged? Is it hierarchical? Is it kind of flat? What does that actually look like? Then that speaks to power structures as well. Are they very much autocratic and centralized and are very much a transactional leadership style, or are they more distributed and more like a transformational or a servant leader type of style, which we'll be talking about over the course of the next couple of weeks? And then finally, the sixth element is really control systems. How does control feel within this organization? Is it very much top down and bureaucratic and very much, I suppose, reflecting that more autocratic style? Or is it more laissez-faire and much more determined by individuals to say what is right and what is wrong? These are useful metrics to use whenever you are trying to define and determine a culture and to design it with intent, which ultimately could be a really big differentiator for you and your organization, because ultimately you can very easily copy business models, but it's much harder to copy somebody's culture. Hope that's helpful, hope that's insightful, and I'll see you all next week.